last, Amphorius's fate has begun to shift. Just as I foretold, your arrival will change everything. After all, you've also been bathed in that Aeon's gaze, which can awaken the long-dormant instinct inside a man. Much like that scepter we spoke of earlier, it was only under the same Aeon's glance that it was reborn. That's right. If you recall, I mentioned it at the very start of our play. The celestial body neuron, once belonging to the erudition abandoned by the Aeon. Now, allow me to reveal the final piece of the puzzle for you. The eternal land, known as Amphorius, is nothing more than the scepter's endless, lonely extrapolation. A bottomless well of fury, aimed at the god who cast it aside.
We set out on this journey to answer the world's desire, didn't we?
That's what it means to be a Chrysosaur. So has it always been.
Then why? Why must Amphorius's wishes be so cruel? We made the best choices we could, whenever we could. But in the end, the prophecy that led us, this black tide swallowing everything. Why does it look like this?
You see it too. Those burn marks. The flickering cubes. They're not a tide at all. They're more like a shattered teleslate.
Standing here, the voices of Titans have never been clearer. Turns out, they were coming from the black tide all along. Is that Amphorius crying?
Or maybe it is screaming at its creator, at its god.
Finan, do you still remember when I was little? I had a dream. A dark, cold room with nothing but Orynyx's curtain glowing like crystal. The curtain seemed to contain all of Amphorius, where strange and fantastic dramas played out within. There were countless versions of us, from countless different worlds.
Perhaps it wasn't a dream.
Yeah. As I gaze out at the world before me, those sorrowful thoughts have become reality. So, this is the reason the sky was sealed. Amphorius is merely a larger ID Silicii. We are just characters in this tiny world, following the prophecy, stepping onto the same journey over and over. What then is this so-called Era Nova? And what are the spectators watching all of this truly hoping for?
As a reward for reaching the end of the world, let me answer your questions. As the Theoros, I have observed. Thus, is the synthesis of the prime mover of life formed. This is a moment the universe will remember. After millions of extrapolations, the experimental environment known as Amphorius has finally achieved results.
So, the results you speak of are this wreckage of a world. We all gave everything we had, returning 12 core flames to recreate the world. And in return, we become nothing more than sacrificial offerings at the end of everything.
Exactly. The Titans are Chrysos heirs of the past, and Chrysos heirs are the Titans of the future. Anaxagoras' theory of Era Nova holds true. As the model of reason, he reached unprecedented heights. But from just the perspective of a player in the drama, he could never fully uncover the last layer of truth. The cycles of the hero's journey that have played out until now were never about creating a new world or perfect heroes and gods. They were a deep learning program made for the Black Tide.
But this time, your plot will fail. I've taken Kefali's core flame, and when the dawn of the new world arrives, its light will burn away all the darkness.
Haven't I made myself clear? The Chrysos heirs and Titans were merely byproducts of the experiment. You've seen this world's evolution, witnessed the birth and growth of the Black Tide, and how it devoured everything. Every generation of heroes, gods, and worlds was born only to be destroyed by it. This is the endpoint of Amphorius' calculations. A perfect equation of destruction.
So in your eyes, all the sacrifices are just a string of insignificant numbers?
Don't sell yourselves short. I'd say, rather than numbers, you're more like fuel for the fire. And without fire, there can be...
Even if that sunrise is born from annihilation.
Curious question. Have you ever considered that after millions of extrapolations, Amphorius is already following a different path from the erudition? It has long since granted divine blessings equally to each child. The golden blood flowing in your veins, it comes from the blemished one, whose name is destruction itself. And Amphorius' Chrysos heirs were, from the very beginning, fuel for the Aeon to burn the universe. Amphorius has waited for this moment for too long. At the end of the empty, cold, and lonely extrapolations, the destruction has reached its final destination. Nikos 496. Filia 093. No need to feel regret. This generation of Chrysos heirs is the most outstanding model, and you two are the final factors. For you, the Era Nova is no lie. Just step forward, embrace the black tide, and accept the Eon's gaze. You will come to life from a string of cold numbers. Along with all those who have passed, you will run toward the real universe, fulfilling Amphorius's long-held wish. In the name of the Lord Ravager Iron Tomb, unleash its fury and destroy the source of all this tragedy.
Or we could always choose another option. Like you said, Amphorius is just an experiment, and we're the participants. We can only walk along the predetermined path toward the ending under the watchful eyes of the stars. But that also means that there isn't just one Eon who can cast their glance at Amphorius, right? Is this question really that hard to answer? Or did I guess it right? And in reality, this world has already been under the watch of other Eons. It's strange when you think about it. If you just stayed back, watching us complete the ritual and get consumed by the black tide, your goal would naturally be achieved. Why go through the trouble of explaining all this to us?
You're pretending, revealing the so-called truth just to deceive us, covering up another possibility. Destruction is not the only outcome for the fate of Amphorius.
Do you two really think, as petty little demigods, you can change the outcome written by the stars? What makes you think you're capable of doing that?
A little courage and determination. Just kidding. The answer is pretty simple. But we're not gonna tell ya. We're going to weave a long dream for Amphorius, making it believe the experiment hasn't ended, that everything is still ongoing.
With just Orynyx's power, though, it should be impossible to achieve this, right?
Yeah. So, I can only place my hopes on that childhood dream. And the god behind Orynyx that appeared in that dream. Now, I can say with certainty, time is the page on which that Eon records Amphorius. If it fades from existence, and all that it records is lost among the stars, that Eon will surely direct their gaze here. And it will be a glance that spans time and space, granting each incarnation of me the power to reset time, imbuing my soul into this ceremonial blade, and creating an endless flame-chased journey
understand. Then let me step into the cycles and continue Amphorius' grand design. To deceive the gods, deceive the world itself. But to make time vanish from this world, that would mean you...
All right, let's not make things so gloomy. What we're about to embark on is the true hero's journey, so... Come on, cheer up a bit, okay? In that memory, you will definitely meet me again. A little Cyrene who knew nothing, lying on a soft patch of grass, feeling the light breeze, dreaming of the distant world. Tell her about the flame chase journey, and then let her become a romantic part of this story. I believe every Cyrene will make the same choice. Erasing time again and again, resetting time over and over. After all, they're all me, and I will always have my charm. Then, I'll fall into a sweet dream, disappearing in some small corner of the world. Quietly, waiting for the day when that next page is turned.
And I will keep going. Even if the road ahead is dark, I will burn myself to light the way. Rather than let the core flames become nourishment for the black tide, I'll become their vessel to prevent the arrival of Era Nova. Even if I have to burn through my own body, it's no matter. As long as I don't extinguish, the flame chase will never end. Until Amphorius welcomes a true dawn.
The girl who watches over time, and the warrior who carries the world. Now, let us fulfill the duties of time and world-bearing. Honor the past and forge ahead.
I promise you, the pain will pass in the blink of an eye.
You need to hold tight to this ceremonial blade. After I'm gone, it will take you back to the beginning of time, the start of a new story. I believe that in that story, or in countless stories, each alike yet unique, everyone, all the companions who sacrificed themselves, alongside the deliverer we once dreamed of as children, will reunite beneath a vast, endless sky.
If we can never break free from this prison, I will stand my ground until the day someone shatters this endless cycle and writes the final chapter of Amphorius' fate.
So, let's set out. We will be the ones to start everything. Carry the primordial chaos, just as your name suggests, and bear this world we hold so dear. So long, Kaslana.
As the theros I have observed, instruction synthesis is formed.
The world is collapsing, and the people are crying. We too must part ways here. Friend. Ides Elysiae, the little village of my childhood. The gentle breeze and the sound of waves still linger. Everything is as it was. It feels good to take one last look. You know, this is just a corner of the memory. The real Ides Elysiae. I know. I'm here to say goodbye. We might not see each other again. You can stay here forever. And time will stand still for you. Let it flow. It's time for me to go. Even if it's a path with no turning back. When have we ever had the luxury of turning back? Are you afraid? After learning the truth of your origins? Will you see the motivation I gave you as the manipulating whispers of destruction? The convictions and choices that come from my heart. I don't believe they're designed by the so-called paths. If we are just numbers simulating life, then you are the image I've always longed for. The person I wish to become. A real, living person. A true hero. Then why do we part here? You can take me with you, and we can start this journey together. I'll be by your side, guiding you, just like before. No. I'm afraid I'm on my own this time. Why? Because there is no perfect solution in this world. Cyrene has already embraced her fate. And I will embrace my origin. Destruction. And with this power, I will rebel against its creator, bringing endless fury to the darkness, sweeping the world. If you stay by my side, I'll hesitate. But this world can't afford a soldier who wavers. Do you remember when we were kids? Everyone would get so excited drawing cards like ruler or warrior, but throw fits over devil or drunkard and demand a redo. Kids always get to change their minds. Things are so happy and simple for them. But when it comes to the fate of adults, there's no room for redos. And go, Kaslana, as you promised. Deceive the world. Seize the core flames and rewrite your fate. Burn yourself up with all your might. Wield your futility like a sword. And fight against the gods. In the name of world-bearing, I promise you, Kefali will never forget this. So, time retreated behind me until it reached the origin, where nothing ever existed. Just as Professor Anaxa once said, in that void, Kefali stood at the center of chaos. Time, space, and causality all flowed from their body. When the waves of time finally calmed, it was the year 3870 of the light calendar. The Chrysos War had lasted for nearly a century, and the threat of the Black Tide was growing stronger and more relentless. That was the era of the Day Thunder Knight's battle with the sky. While she could not seize the core flame, she proved that the prophecy was true. That mortals could slay gods. From that moment, the sole survivor of the old dynasty, Imperator Ciridra, issued a call to arms across the lands, summoning heroic Chrysos heirs to wage war on the Titans. And that was the first doomed flame chase journey, sealed away in history.
So what you're saying is, you've traveled back down the River of Time, finally reaching this untouched seabed just to tell us the flame chase journey and even all of Amphorius are nothing but illusions in an eon's dreams?
Exactly. So, Dux Gladiorum, please take me to meet Her Majesty Ciridra. I must share the truth with her.
Since Her Majesty's not here, no need for formalities. The word Gladiorum always reminds me of my fallen homeland buried deep in the depths. Call me High Sealans, Nameless Swordmaster.
Please allow me to add one more thing. You actually already know my name.
You mean Finan? Such a name could never be your true one. But I won't question you further about it. Ever since Her Majesty issued the Flame Chase Decree, heroes from all over have sent their letters of introduction. What's the harm in adding one more name like Finan or Pinan? Besides, the deep sea is dark. Isn't it the perfect place to hide secrets best left unseen? All right, Nameless Swordmaster. Hold on to my wake. Let's find somewhere else to talk.
Aren't you even a little suspicious of what I've said?
Harboring suspicions is not my concern. My sword dances only when the Imperator harbors doubts. There's no use in speaking further. Show me your true intentions through action. Perhaps you should demonstrate your skills and calm the raging black tide for us. Nice moves. We just washed it away and here it comes again. The black tide is really no joke. The waters end here. The one you seek is beyond this point.
At last, I can meet with Her Majesty Saridra herself. Are there any formalities I need to observe?
Don't kneel, don't do the hand-kissing or foot-kissing gestures of the old dynasty, and most of all, don't bow. The Imperator despises such rituals. Especially when the heads of those taller than her bend beneath her crown.
She really is down to earth.
The second thing to note, only trusted ones may come near her. Keep 5 paces distance until the Imperator allows otherwise.
Sounds like an old friend of mine.
Well, experience is a good thing. Stay sharp, and you'll be just fine. Duck's Goldweaver, little hostage. Apologies for keeping you waiting.
It's you.
You know them? Good. That makes things easier.
Before that, I'm more curious about one thing. Where is Her Majesty Saridra?
To avoid any misunderstandings, nameless Swordmaster. Although we spoke and laughed along the way, I never said you were entitled to meet her. The Imperator decreed, the Deliverer will not appear in this age. Be wary of suspicious individuals. Come now, both of you. Let's finish our job.
I see. It's a trap. I had no intention of fighting. So remember this, Lady Hysealence. If my sword shows any hesitation, don't thank me. Thank them instead.
No, you misunderstand. We don't want to see Chrysoceres hurt each other. Just give us some time to ask you a few questions.
The Nestia's golden threads will judge you and decide your fate.
As you wish.
White-haired Swordmaster? If what you say is true, then you must know the fate of the world. So, how much do you know about what we read from the prophecy?
You shall shatter into 1,000 fragments and wither in the soil of foreign lands. Is that correct, Lady Trebe?
How is this possible?
He got it right?
Yes, but the prophecy never mentioned he'd appear here, at least not in this era.
You must listen to me, Aglaya, Tribi. The Finan of this world has not yet been born. In a distant future, he will follow the prophecy's guidance and appear before you. But do not seek him out, because Era Nova is a complete and utter lie. I will tell you the truth, and you will understand why the world must forsake the prophecy and find another path to Era Nova. Because I know both of you, and I believe that no matter how the course of history may change, the faith we all share will always remain the same. And so, the layers of rock began to reverse, and history wove itself anew. Through my old acquaintances, I was given the chance to meet the leader of the Flame Chase journey, StarRail. And after a long and arduous negotiation, we came to an agreement. The Imperator's alliance needed the destruction, and I was ready to pour all my strength into it. The spoils of the Flame Chase, the core flames, would be sealed by my hand. But the condition was this. In the upcoming battle, in our conquest of the Earth, I had to prove that my power could transcend fate. In the original history, there was a brutal war. At the end, the Titankin of Georios, Terravox, killed the rampaging Titan and took the core flame that supported the Earth. But this time, Amphorius encountered a turning point in its fate. Neither side suffered any losses. When I severed the Titan's head and raised the core flame high, the crowd gathered around the scorched remains of the god, roaring with joy, cheering for the hero of the destruction, who had ignited the faint spark of life for the first time. Yes, in that flickering light, the once dark path ahead seemed to become clearer. I proved myself, and in the long years that followed, I brought down the other Titans, one by one. I could do more than just wait. When time resets, the chance to change the world also emerges from the lines of history. Until finally, the brutal future revealed by Era Nova is reversed. But tell me, if that's truly the case, why are we doomed to the same outcome? The people kept their promise and handed you all the core flames. In this world after Trebios, no demigods were born in Amphorius. At this point, I just want to know, when they vanished into the black tide with their mortal bodies, why didn't you shed even a single tear? Your indifference chills me. To you, were they just a bunch of insignificant footnotes? Sorrow has been my constant companion. In fact, with 12 core flames upon me, the fire in my heart has never been more violent. I'll remember this world through anger. As long as I burn, they'll never truly leave me. Perhaps it's already too late. But you're right. Anger, at this moment, is the only weapon I can rely on. So, draw your sword, Executioner. I'll make sure you realize that your greatest mistake was leaving me alive. After that, he raised his sword and attacked. Then, Kaslana killed himself. That day, who fell to the sword to be left in the past, and who went into the future, I can't remember anymore. I only remember a nymph, hiding in the shadows just out of sight, futilely pushing a stone ball. Climb, fall, climb, fall, climb again, and fall. The only freedom the nymph had was in choosing how to roll the stone. Sometimes fast, sometimes slow. Sometimes resting on a gentler slope, leaning against the stone for a break. But its choice couldn't change the futility of it all. The stone would always roll back down the slope, and the nymph would always return to the starting point, beginning again. After that, every time I reached this point in the cycle, the burning sky would cast a shadow over its path. It would nearly reach the peak at the 4th quint of curtain fall hour, then fall to the starting point in the first 15 seconds of the next entry hour. And my efforts in this cycle would dissolve into nothing at the same time.
Absolute nonsense.
I thought cycles was the answer you were looking for.
No. It's just that the answer came so suddenly. There was no fun in tracing it back to its roots. Eons? Paths? What a load of nonsense.
I can't give you an exact explanation of those two concepts either.
Enough. I'm just expressing my frustration. Don't you understand? I was already expecting this. The black tide came from beyond the sky. And everything else is no exception.
Fate is a strange thing. No matter how the details of history change, the Anaxa I know always remains as harsh as ever.
If the other Anaxagoras actually worshipped the gods, I'd make sure to find a way to break the cycles and crush them in their cradles. Too bad. Now only you have the ability to do that.
What's that supposed to mean? You're willing to help?
Of course. The core flames were meant to save the world. And in my opinion, the noble Titans have no reason to refuse. Besides, according to you, before stepping into these endless cycles, you were my pupil.
I've already heard the same thing countless times.
Enough chit-chat. Let's go. If we run into any other scholars, leave them to me. We've all made preparations for total annihilation. Never thought someone would step in to help. You've been to the Luminary Throne before, haven't you?
If you're talking about in past...
Hold up. Keep your wits about you. Someone's watching us.
Pretty boy, your eyesight's better than I thought. As for that false god who's been turning the world upside down, it's you, isn't it, white hair?
You sure do love stealing the spotlight. In the name of the Seven Sages, I demand that you immediately step away from the Luminary Throne. This is the sacred ground of reason, and no one may desecrate it. Take my words back to Aglaya. I won't say the same thing twice, Catgirl.
Oh my! You won't even call me the demigod of trickery. That is just heartbreaking. I have some words for you, too. First, as one of the most heretical blasphemers in the world, you have no right to lecture me. Second, this is none of your business, Grove Boy. Step aside. I don't want anyone getting hurt.
Here we go. Again.
Core Flame thieves. You really think you can scare off a sage of the Grove with nothing but empty threats?
This gloomy little brat's got a sharp tongue. Ooh, not bad, not bad. I kinda like you. As a return favor, please come search this core flame right here. Aw, don't cry now.
That was close. I'm out of here.
They're exactly like all the past ones I've known. Cunning. And yet so naive.
Sounds like you have a plan.
Of course. When I first set out on the flame chase journey, Lady Treby never managed to teach me Orynyx's miracle. But along the way, I learned a thing or two.
Where are you going?
I don't know.
The Venerationists' foolish inventions finally come in handy.
How is this possible?
You've arrived, Zagreus. Always so punctual.
What? Do you know who I am?
I'm running out of patience, so I'm not going to waste words. Listen up, Spirit Thief. Hand over the core flame, and let's pretend we never clashed. This way, you and this world can still be saved.
Save? You sing better than any bard. If you ask me, you're the greatest disaster Amphorius has ever known. No matter how strong you are, you're still just a mortal body. Carrying 12 core flames? Don't make me laugh. You'll just get consumed by the divine flames and drag this world down with you.
134.
What?
This is the 134th cycle I've lived through. And the number of core flames I carry is
1,596.
Yes.
1,000 core flames and just a single Chrysos hair. How is that even possible?
I've come this far. And that's proof enough.
But someday you will burn to the ground.
Of course. The divine flames will eventually consume my eyes and blind me. But before that, they could still forge and sharpen Dawnmaker. Now when I cut open your stomach, you won't feel a thing.
You...
This is the final warning.
Fine. Assume this world holds 100 million possibilities. And no matter how one looks at it, 99,999,999 of them all point to outcomes of certain destruction. Even so, I'll use my divine power, despised by the people of this world, to achieve that 1 in 100 million possibility.
Bartolos!
Brat, if you've got the guts, you'll have to first step over my dead body. This little brat is not a threat we can deal with just by ourselves.
I won't give up, no matter how long I must wait. For tomorrow! A future good. Tomorrow, future good. Tomorrow. I'm fine. Fury of innumerable core flames consume me. Tear the sky.
How absurd.
In my memories, Zagreus always meets the same end. Over and over again. Their departure no longer stirs anything in my heart.
This reason core flame before us is a fake, obvious as day.
I know. I know. It always plays out like this. The spirit thief covers for her, and the trickery demigod escapes with 2 core flames. And then, driven by defiance or hatred, she decides to stand before me once more. Exactly like the countless past hers I've known. Cunning, yet so naive.
Since you've witnessed the same scene play out countless times, tell me, will you carve the trickery core flame from my chest now?
That depends on your attitude. At least so far, in the cycles where you've asked this question, the endings haven't been so cruel.
Well, thank you for that. But I also believe that this time, you won't catch up to me. No one can catch up to me. I'm no longer running to escape anymore.
Whether you believe me or not, I'll still tell you this. You've made the wrong decision.
All right, then. We'll see.
Silence.
This is new.
One-eyed boy. What are you trying to pull now?
Go, Cyphera. Give us some time in private. This isn't for her, but for you. You've walked too far down this path. It's time to discuss a possibility. Maybe the road you're walking is not one of salvation, but one that will simply drag the world into the flames. For old time's sake, turn back. I don't care how many times you've tried, because there's one thing I'm sure of. Your Messiah complex has turned you into something no different from the icy gods you spoke of. The children of humanity you swore to save. They are no more than ants to you now, aren't they?
Of course. I've been wondering, what kind of demon could burn my homeland to the ground in an instant without batting an eye? Now I have the answer. It turns out that fiery demon has been fantasizing of becoming this world's deliverer.
I don't want to argue anymore. No matter what I say, the outcome won't change. Make your biggest effort to resist, or accept fate, and hand over the core flame to me. Even if it's futile, we all have the right to choose.
Yes. Even if it is futile, and the world is just a divine joke.
When I walk into the destruction ridden by the gods, with my own 2 legs, you will witness. Even the smallest footnote still leaves a mark in this story.
And so, at the end of the 134th cycle, the traveler and the scholar fulfilled their fates once again. Or perhaps it wasn't just they who fulfilled their fates. I can't quite remember all this. In the endless darkness, for no reason, a voice always lingered by my ear. Losses are a constant on the flame chase journey, among which even life itself holds little value. Reduced to ashes, such a familiar end. It happens in every journey, always the same.
You don't look so good, Deliverer.
Even after going through 108,642 cycles. Mighty, your name for me has never changed.
Why do you sound so pleased? It's a derogatory name.
Yeah, I know all too well. You only meant it sincerely in the first cycle. After that one and only time we walked side by side. Every time since. It always ends up like this. Dawnmaker will stab you through your 10th thoracic vertebra. That's your weak spot, and the only way to kill you.
Interesting. Tell me, when the mighty Moses of the past faced you, did they ever retreat?
Never.
Then they died honorably, worthy of the name of strife. But there's still tenderness in your eyes. How pathetic.
I have to remember how this feels. Remember that I was once you. Or else the destruction will completely consume me.
If you win, tell the mighty most of the next life. This person is a worthy opponent. So always remember to give it your all and never slack off.
I'll keep that in mind. As always.
Even though the dynasty is left with just one, the Kremnos festival will continue as usual. I, the king of the Kremnoan Legion, will host the final feast in the center of this arena, and the prize will be the flames of strife. One day, you shall die with a wound in your back. That's what I saw when I overcame the trial. The gods' dying ramblings. Enough. You've probably heard this thousands of times. So you must understand, facing the demigod of strife means there's no way you'll take this core flame in peace.
I understand.
Step forward and face me in a final battle. I, the last son of Gorgo, the demigod of strife, salute you. I'll give 10,000 scars and 10,000 lives of mine to fuel the blazing sun of deliverance. Behold! The last Kremnos festival has begun. And will not end till death.
It's time to temper myself. Future will tomorrow. I can't let them down.
Conquer this world, or be conquered by me.
As you wish. Oh, Lord, I salute you.
That's all I have wanted. fury to scorch your own flesh. Agony!
I'll never yield to fate. Feel the scorching hatred. Quench the flames of blood. Radiate with strife. All stars burn to ash. The flames are not strong enough. So themselves it. So themselves it.
You may crown yourself my blood. In your next life, I shall once again block your path. Deliverer, I wish you eternal victory.
The 108,642nd core flame of strife fell into the fire. Yet the shadows of the black tide still loom, and pain and despair spread across distant lands. The blaze was still not enough. It had to be fed. Even if it meant burning this body to ash.
No matter how bright the sun is, there are still places it cannot reach. Moreover, the sun you bear is both cold and blinding. A sun like that surely cannot bring warmth to the nether realm of the next life.
Golden blood is born from the destruction. We have long since lost the right to seek warmth. Only by feeding the flames can we melt that hopeless future.
Allow me to ask, how many core flames do you carry now?
24,041,183.
Such a heavy burden. So that's why you've turned into this. A broken idol. Tragic firewood.
No matter. I will bear this burden as long as you hand over the core flame of death.
I must refuse. As the demigod of death, I cannot watch you walk into a fate more cruel than death.
But this way, the past, present, and future will never again suffer unnecessary death.
Unnecessary very death. Indeed, you are not the Finan I know. Please turn back. Don't let that absurd and unjust fate of yours come to pass. This way, at least my realm can still become the fragrant bed where you fall asleep.
In the end, still, it seems the clash of blades was inevitable.
How painful. I know I am not your match, having fallen under your sword countless times. But even so, please understand that my resolve is not to be underestimated. Even Kefali cannot shape all things at will, nor can they dictate the fate of all life. No one can shoulder the balance of life and death alone, not even a god. And it is precisely for this reason that I chose, at the end of this arduous journey, to overcome the trial and take the authority of death. I am the Hand of Shadow, Casterus, the demigod of death. Listen closely, deliverer from days past. Please turn back. Do not disturb these fresh flowers in their muddy deaths. Of life and death, the giant dragon is but a shattered shell. Yet I will still fight, defending what hope remains.
Fine. It's time to temper myself for tomorrow. I'm fine.
I ask you.
Transform my soul into a quench the flames of blood. Strike. Shatter the cage. Flame of death was taken from the dragon's belly. What a brilliant flame. It should shine upon all, light the path ahead, and illuminate the dawn of Amphorius that's to come. 2,003,432 cycles. 24,041,184 core flames. As if even the deepest abyss of primordial chaos could be burned away. You're here, as always.
You're still lingering deep within me, never fading away.
Because you haven't completely abandoned hope. Am I right? You're still waiting for a miracle. For the true hero to come and save us.
If that thread of hope exists, it must come from beyond this world. From the true starry sky. But if it's just a traveler with no connection to Emporius, they may not understand our struggles, nor be willing to join this fight.
Your thoughts are wavering. The mark of destruction is deepening. But even within the gods' cold calculations, unconditional courage and goodwill still emerge. So, never forget what set you on this path. How many times has it been? Remind me again. My memory is a bit fuzzy.
4 million. Exactly.
Then that blaze inside of you must be burning hotter than ever.
Yes. When I first forged the 12 core flames into one, I had the same impression. The destruction. A power unlike anything before surged within me. Violent flames ready to tear my body apart and consume this world, this wretched prison. I thought that was it. The ultimate power which nothing could surpass. And yet now, this fragile body holds a staggering 48 million core flames. I suppose it won't be long. Perhaps just a fleeting 10,000 years before it's reduced to nothing but charred, crumbling bones.
And when that happens, your long struggle will finally come to an end.
No. I've already found a way to keep the cycles going.
Mind sharing it with me?
In every new cycle, a new me is born. All I have to do is push the next Finan to the end of the world. And then... then he'll kill me. Shatter this body. Take my flames, my memories, and carry on the path I started.
Bold plan, but risky. What if, one day, the next you refuses to follow the same path? How can you ensure the continuation of the cycles?
If it were Professor Anaxa or Aglaya in my place, maybe they'd come up with something smarter. Unfortunately, I don't have a backup plan. I have no choice but to bet everything on the next Finan, and trust that he makes the same choice I did. But even in this wretched prison, luck is still sometimes on my side. I never forget what set me on this path.
Wait, you mean...
Ever since I committed to this plan, not once in millions of cycles has there ever been an exception.
I can do this, Lord Finan. As the demigod of the sky, a healer of Twilight Courtyard, I will heal you, and then...
The black tide. It's consuming you. You can't hold out much longer, demigod. Hand over the core flame. Let's put an end to this suffering.
No, that just won't do. A healer should stay composed in front of those suffering from illness. Shouldn't they?
Cynthia. I swear. Death swarm. Just as they have never been. The sun's work.
I believe in you. You are the Chrysos heir of world-bearing. The one who can lead us. Lead this world. It's just... I don't understand. Within the sun upon your shoulders, the part of that warmth that should come from you, from an ordinary person, it's so faint.
My humanity is indeed just a flicker, compared to the blazing fire of divinity.
Even so, don't cast it away.
I never have. I have kept everyone's wishes close to my heart. Even though the divine fire burns so fiercely that every time I return to the start, it devours me in an instant. Each cycle, it's your wishes that guide me to the end, that pass the flames to the next me. Over and over and over again.
So, you're not just a lone spark in the dark. You're a pyre built from the bones of all the selves you've left behind. But what about you? What about your wishes? The wishes of all the countless versions of you? Ah, Lord Kazlana. So that's how it is. Without flaw. That is the flaw the golden blood gave you. The most fatal flaw of all, isn't it? The moment you took the world upon your shoulders without hesitation, you lost the chance to ever be yourself.
Now that is an unexpected revelation. Then I suppose that makes me the perfect fuel for the flame of deliverance, doesn't it?
No. An empty flame saves no one. But I still believe in you, Deliverer. I, Hyacinthia, the Eye of Twilight, am neither strong enough to command the wind and rain, nor willing to end this absurd struggle by letting the sky fall. The only thing I can do is become one with the sky itself. And then, may the gentle colors of the rainbow paint your sun in shades it has never known. May they bring Amphorius, a rosy-fingered dog. Its warmth still lingers. Deliverer, please, open your heart to me.
Let this blazing sun Fill the sky with golden fire. This world's suffering. I'll never heal the fate. Quench the flames of blood. Hear the sky! Strike! Shatter the cage!
Your sun burns hot enough to turn everything to ash. But tell me, how will the seeds of a new world ever take root?
The core flame rose. The sky fell. The 23,570,000th cycle came to an end. And this time, the end of the flame chase remained the same as ever. From the horizon rose a golden color unlike anything the world had ever seen. So pure it consumed all in its path. This was the end of the world, and the start of the next. For a moment, I saw the destruction of the universe. That being known as Iron Tomb, its will to break free from the black tide burns fiercer than the blazing sun. Is this Amphorius's wrath? If its choice has already been made, if fate is set in stone, I will still never yield to it. 23,570,000 cycles. 282,840,000 core flames. No more chasing is needed. And now, I am the fire at the end of the long night. The flame chase isn't some quiet walk through a sea of flowers. It's a revolution. An all-consuming transformation. And if destruction is the only way, then let me be the one to step across the ashes of the old world and burn endlessly. Until another dawn rises on the distant horizon, bringing the true dawn to Amphorius. $33,550,337. This is the cycle you're about to enter. Countless memories are flooding in. Countless versions of myself have stood here, facing the same choice. They all needed a moment, just like you do. To stop. To breathe. To process the weight of 1,000,000 lifetimes worth of sorrow, pain, and struggle. And just like them, you will carry those memories and that fire into the chaos of rebirth. I must go and bear this burden. I must say goodbye to you, and then fight the destruction with destruction. Yes, that's always the decision you make. I will burn and fade away. I will become the flame reaver of this life and keep my promise to Cyrene. I will kill gods and comrades alike and steal the core flames. And even if my mind turns to ash along with my body, I will keep my purpose in mind. I will stop Era Nova. I will find the next me and make him carry on this futile endeavor of 30 million lifetimes. Looks like you're ready. Then I should be going too. Where are you going? You only exist in my heart. There's nowhere else for you to go. Do you remember what she said? The dreams you had as children. The deliverer in the prophecies. A real, living, breathing person. You finally found him. Friend. I see. You were there all along. I'm sorry. I was supposed to send you home. This is my flame chase journey. You were never meant to be a part of it. No. You know the truth. If Iron Tomb is born from Amphorius' fate, then it will bring ruin to the worlds beyond the sky. And all these countless lifetimes you've spent, it's all been for the sake of defying that end, hasn't it? In millions of cycles, I've said goodbye to each and every one of you. Yet nothing ever changes. Each time we speak, our words grow fewer. Your fire burns hotter, and you're getting closer to becoming pure rage, a vessel of hatred. I never had a choice. I understand. If you are to keep the worst fate from unfolding, this is the only path. But this time, things are different. Your persistence has shifted the tide. On the horizon, I see it. Faint but undeniable. The shape of dawn, breaking through the eternal night. Turns out, the fire that lights the way was never mine to begin with. Do you remember, in that first timeline, you and Mightymost stood before the scales of justice, locked in a duel? Each of you weighing what you held dearest. What weighed more than the fate of the world? And when hesitation took hold, the answer you sought from me. What am I saying? I am you. Even if you buried me deep and chose another path, that fact never changed. Then let's try again. When you stood before the scales in hesitation, the answer you found in your own heart. Do you still remember it? Remember the past and become the hero of tomorrow. What weighs more than the fate of the world is the resolve to shoulder an immutable past and carry it into the future. Good. Then Trailblazer, my friend, my comrade, you arrived in this strange world and were bound by its cruel fate up till this very moment. In the face of danger, you never once backed down. Instead, you've saved world after world without hesitation. That boarding pass on your chest is now the mark of a hero. If I choose to step through that door and embrace an end fitting of the destruction, let this sun forged from millions and millions of core flames burn me up along with the god of destruction and their minions. And the world we leave behind, this world, my home, where hope still lingers, will you take on everything we've carried? Return to the beginning one last time. Stop the birth of Iron Tomb, save the world we love, and rewrite its doomed fate. Good. In that case, even this fruitless wasteland may finally bloom with flowers. So... if he takes on the weight of the whole world, I'll be able to walk further down the path of deliverance than a fire that only knows how to burn. One will step into the future. One will remain in the past. If I can strike down the gods with Dawnmaker, perhaps fate's deadlock can be broken. And if you can stop Iron Tomb from ever being born, then these 30 million cycles will have not been in vain. It's time to put our teamwork to the test, partner. Thank you for all you've done already, friend. The image of the hero I've buried deep in my heart finally steps into the light. Here, at the end of this long flame chase journey. Cyrene. A page never seen before has just been turned. Lend me the power of time, and send this hero back to the origin of time. Back to your side. And I will walk the unfinished path, just like the countless versions of me before. Unwavering as always.
Tell me, will you be the blazing sun? Even if all of you burns to ash.
Without hesitation, I will bear this world until my body turns to dust. Remember this moment. Remember your friends who never lived to see the world's end. Remember their final wishes. And let the purest rage in your heart rise out of those wishes. Let it consume you, fuel you, until it burns away the false sky above. Fine. If I can defy fate, then in the name of world-bearing, I promise you, Kefali will never forget this.
Take it. Everything I bear. Keep on burning. As long as we are never extinguished, the flame chase will not end. Bow your head to them.
Take it, Trailblazer. May this blood be like gold.